Welcome to the My Personal Football Coach Youth Soccer Player Development Podcast, episode 29 with Niels Jansen.
Welcome to MyPersonalFootballCoach.com's Soccer Player Development Podcast. Discover all the secrets, hints and tips about soccer player development and soccer coaching from some of the leading figures in world soccer. Here's your host, Saul Isaacson-Hurst.
Hi guys, welcome back to another show. Really privileged to have a top guest this week, Niels Jansen, who's a technical coach or a skills coach, if you like, at Genk, one of the top clubs at Belgium. A prolific academy that's produced the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, for example. As you know, my personal football coach, the philosophy is really based around ball mastery and 1v1, and it's great to hear from clubs, some of the top clubs around the world who have a similar philosophy, really based around quality touches of the ball and supporting players becoming excellent independent decision makers on the ball. So Niels really has fantastic knowledge and experience to share and tells us some of the secrets behind Genk and what goes on there to make it such a top academy. So a real fantastic episode, this one. I know you're going to enjoy it. Proud to announce now that we've just completed and finished a new plugin for the My Personal Football Coach software, which really does take the club partnership to the next level. So now club partners, the team management or admins can now log in themselves and check the usage of their players. So who's using the programs, when they've used it, how long they've been on for it. Also check in individual players and what they've been doing. So this really is an important move for us, I think. I think data has become really important in modern football. People want to know what the players are doing what they're doing and how long they're doing it for. And, the My Personal Football Coach Club partnership really is a unique one that we deliver. I'm confident no one in world soccer delivers this sort of quality program, giving all players access to a technical training app. Obviously, the coaches get access to the online training portal, the Coaches Pass, which gives a library of ball mastery sessions, ball mastery skills, 1v1 skills, and also team sessions, some team sessions from some of the best academies in world football regularly as well. And obviously now being able to log in and check the data, what the players are doing. So if you're interested in the club partnership and taking your club's game to the next level, just drop me an email. Privileged to welcome Murray Soccer from Utah, TFA Bushy from here in London, clubs from all around the world now joining and adding value and supporting their players and coaches in becoming better at soccer. So that's moving fantastically ahead. And also remember, look, if you haven't yet, download the app, the My Personal Football Coach app. Try it out. If you're interested in improving your technical game or your child's technical game, or just experiencing what some of the best technical methodologies in world soccer has to offer, just download it and try it out. But remember as well, please don't forget, if you do enjoy the show, please leave a review. It really does matter. It makes a massive impact. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all your continual support, and let's go ahead with the show. See you soon. So, Niels Jansen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can you just give us a little bit of a brief background about your playing and coaching journey up to this point?
My background, so I'm 27 years old. I'm at this moment the technical coach of the academy in KRC Genk. I played football in the youth academy of KRC Genk and Patro Maasmechelen. And at this moment I play in a local club just for having fun. On my 15, I become coach in a local club of the little boys, 6-7 years old. It was fantastic, and after 2 seasons on my 17, KRC Genk asked me to become head coach in the youth academy. So this year was my season number 10 as coach with KRC Genk, and I've been coaching the little guys, but also the older guys. And 3 years ago, I started as technical coach from the under 7 till under 11. And from last season, I am the technical coach of the whole academy.
So then just give us a little bit of an idea about your role as a technical coach. What does that look like? What's your day-to-day duties?
My role as technical coach, it's my job, but half time because I have also another job. I'm a teacher, but all the days I am at the club. On Monday, I usually have a meeting with the other directors, and on Tuesday I'm at the club in the afternoon, and I train till 6 p.m. I have training with the under 15, under 16, under 17. And then it's Wednesday, also in the afternoon, and I train till 8 p.m. And then this day I have training with under 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the second team. So the oldest guys in the academy. Then Thursday I train in the morning, under 13, under 14. And in the afternoon, the under 15, 16, 17. And in the afternoon, there's more like individual training. The boys can choose what they want to exercise with me. And Friday in the evening, I train the youngest boys of the academy. And in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, there are the games, and I do some video analysis about the technical aspects. So
Okay.
that's my schedule of the week.
So just tell us then. I mean, because English academies don't really have technical coaches as such. What is?
hmm
Tell us a little bit what you do. What exactly you do with the boys? What do your sessions look like? What's your main objectives?
My main objectives. Yeah, technique for me, it's a way to do something. Our actions needed to accomplish something, the knowledge, the tools needed to make something work. But a very important factor is the efficiency in all the situations of a player in a game. He has to go for a maximum efficiency. The goals for me as technical coach to improve the ball mastery of my players, to help players to make the right choice in a specific situation. I want to strengthen the individual qualities of the player. They know that I'm not a team coach, so I have another contact with the boys, and they know they can trust me. We can divide technical coaching into different aspects, like you have the dribbling skills, the ball mastery. It's very important for 1v1 situations or 1v2. But you have also other aspects like kicking, controlling the ball, passing the ball, inside, outside, all these ways. It's for me, it's very important. The
And
creativity.
yeah, okay. And so just tell us a bit then. What is your coaching methodology? How would you describe it if you were going to describe what you do?
My coaching methodology, yeah. Every day I try new things, new exercises, new ideas. The intention is to bring the street football to the pitch. I want to give my players many options, so in the games they can choose which option is the best for themselves. That's why I think all the players in the modern way of football need to focus on technical skills, from the goalie, defender till attackers. Because with the modern way of football, football is becoming faster and more physical. The spaces are getting smaller and smaller, so technical skills are very important. Once you have control over the ball, you can use the little time and space you receive. Um, I train it with coordination technical skills, with combination technical skills, passing, controlling, 1v1, 2v1, 1v2, small groups, individual training, team training, only the defenders, only the attackers. It's a lot.
Okay, and just to tell us, for instance, say you're working with your eights or nines. What does that look like? What do your sessions look like with the eights or nines when they're the first boys in the academy?
The first boys, it's very important. The ball mastery, dribbling, a lot 1v1, not too much passing. Make some actions. Yeah, the creativity of the players. Yeah, they may do a lot what they want, and not the result is the most important, but the process they have to learn, and it's a process they have to do. Um, so
Do you have like some criteria, the things you work towards with like young players, the things you'd like them to achieve by, for instance, 12 years old if they come in at 8 or 9? What are the key areas you want them to achieve as a technical coach?
Yes, I have a shadow watching. So the youngest boys, it's a phase. They have to explore, they have to learn, and the older guys under 10, 11, 12, they have to try to do in the games. How do you say it? They toepassen. Have to recognize in the games what they have to do. And then under 13, 14, it's more tactical. You are asking and discussing with the coach what they want to train, and it's more tactical on the pitch. But how can I do the technical skills in the training? So that's the way I think about technical sessions.
And what about when you're working with the oldest boys in the academy? What do your sessions look like that? Are you working individually with those guys? Do you doing team sessions?
Yes, it's a combination. During the week, I have team sessions, also discussion with the team coach. They play on the weekends, for example, against a team. They play against an opponent, 4-4-2. We play 4-3-3 mostly. And okay, what are we going to do? How can we train it? With a specific passing in the air or over the ground, in the feet, which run action we have to do. It's also the technical skills are there. And then the individual training, the players may choose what they want to train. It's kicking on goal, or it's with the header, it's the passing, the controlling of the ball. Yeah. Technical skills for me, it's a lot of options. It's not only the dribbling skills, but it's more than that.
And so I'm interested to know how much individual time do you get with players? I mean, does that go all the way along the academy? Do you get individual time with some of the 9s and the 10s, or is it just the older players? How do you split your time up, and also how do you sometimes recognize when extra players need extra support or extra stretching maybe?
It depends. It depends. When they are older, there's more time for individual training, because the older guys don't need to go to school in the afternoon when they have an appointment with the academy. And the little guys, they are on school every day, so it's more difficult. But it depends. Some guys come and ask me, Coach, I want to train that, and it's no problem for me. I go on the pitch with them, individual or with two of them, or when there come test players, new players before the season, the new players, I take the individual. So it depends.
Okay, and then just tell us. You mentioned because we have a big debate here. Obviously, as we discussed before, I'm a skills coach as well. I do a lot of skills,
Hmm.
but in England now we have a big movement. I think in America as well about game-based training, and
Hmm.
the big misunderstanding or information gap about the effectiveness of this training. What do you say to people who say that if you when you're working firstly away from the game, that it doesn't necessarily translate to the game?
I think it's very important to learn first, isolated the technical skills with the younger guys, so they can explore the specific dribble, or the specific ball mastery skills, and then they can apply it in the game. So for me, it's very important to learn how to do, and then go to the games.
And what would you say to people that there's no decision making within that sort of training away from the game?
It's step by step. Decision making is the next step. When they play games, and they do it a lot, they have to do decision making. But first, I want to give them a lot of options. They have to train. And when you learn something at the training, you go to the games, and then the player is going to choose what is the most important thing for me. What shall I choose? What's for my own the best decision I can make. But when you don't have the options, you don't learn them. I don't think you can apply the good of the best option.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot now. I see a lot of even academy sessions which are game based, and everything's in
Hmm.
a game. Everything's in a 7v7 or an 8v8 or something like even a,
Hmm.
And then my question is, where are they getting their quality technical training or contact time with the ball?
Yes, the contact of the ball is very important. Our way of football in Genk is very technical. We want to have the ball and play the ball on the feet or dribble. Our vision is to play offensive and dominant football. When you play 8 vs 8 or 7 vs 7, there's always one, two, three players who don't have the ball, and it's a pity because when you train, the training sessions isolated, all the players have a ball, all the players make contacts with the ball, and then you can do 1 vs 1, 1 vs 2, but with the younger guys, 8 vs 8, no, I don't believe in it.
I think as well. Also, there's maybe it's a cultural thing here. Maybe in England and also in America, I know they're having the same problem where maybe there isn't the appreciation of quality technique or the understanding of how to train it properly.
Hmm.
More easy for people to put everything in a game and maybe take it for granted. Whereas maybe, in Belgium and certainly Holland, where there's another big culture of this sort of thing, technical footballers are a lot more. Now that you have that within your culture, you have a lot more tradition of producing these types of players. For instance, you guys
Hmm.
at Genk particularly are producing a lot of technical players, right?
Yes, yes. Um, yes, it's correct. But you can learn from other cultures. I've done a stage in Brazil with two top clubs, Cruzeiro and Fluminense. It was very interesting to see their way of football vision. It's only technical skills, only individual. It's the tactical aspect is not as much as here in Europe. It's more individual futsal with small balls, 1 vs 1, 2 vs 2. And yeah, I went to the UK 3 times. I went a few days in the youth academy of Tottenham, of Arsenal, Chelsea, and yeah, the difference was, from my opinion, the technical aspect. Um, in the UK, my opinion is the boys are more physical. It's also an important fact in football, but yeah, it's a difference with with our team in Genk, yeah. But it's interesting, eh? Because you see another way of football, and it's all a vision. I don't say it's a good vision or a bad vision. It's a way of football thinking, and we try to learn from all the cultures and all the coaches and so on.
So just tell us a little bit about more your the way you work. So you mentioned 1v1s, 2v2s. Also, is movement development, is that a big part of your philosophy?
Yes, yes, yes. It's very important because I don't play games 3 vs 3 or 4 against 4 in my technical training. It's mostly one attacker vs one defender, or one attacker, two defenders, or two defenders, two attackers and one defender. It's mostly small groups. Um, but I have, it depends. I have also passing and kicking exercises. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about those little 1v1, 1v2, 2v2 little practices.
Hmm.
Um, what do they look like, and then also what are the outcomes you're getting from that? Because this is the same, this is the same argument I'm having. A lot of people in this country, especially, they'll say they won't do 1v1. They'll say, I'll do 4v4 instead because I get 1v1s in the 4v4. But for me, it's really important to have that 1v1 duel. The outcomes you get are really unique and important.
Yeah, for me, it's important to strengthen the individual qualities of the player. So I think for me, it's very important to coach the one player on the ball and the one defender. At our team, at our club, we mostly in my training, there's a coach who is coaching the defenders, and I'm coaching the action or the technical aspects of the player who make the 1 vs 1. Um, yeah, it's a vision, and I think we have proven that it's a good vision because I've seen many players in the academy of Genk, Kevin De Bruyne, Origi, Benteke, Bailey, Carrasco. It's all about the technical skills, and they are very good, I think.
Well, tell us a little bit about De Bruyne. We're going to come on to players there, but just when we're talking about him, he's obviously impressed us here in England. Technically,
Mhm.
best player in the league for me. Real joy to watch. Tell us a little bit. What was he like as a young player coming through? And then, because you talk about proof, what sort of stuff was he doing as a young player?
Kevin De Bruyne is he's as old as me. When he was in Genk, I wasn't a player in the youth of Genk anymore. So, but I've seen him a lot, and he in his head, he always knows what to do. It's 2 steps, 3 steps before the defender, and it's a great quality. I think if you see the technical skills with the left or the right foot, the body composition, the skills, yeah, it's a great player, and it's a typical player for Genk. I think it's exceptional, but those players we want to get up in Genk, yes.
And then, I'm interested when you're working with older players. I work with a lot of young pros in the game, especially this time of year. And a lot of my work is really about challenging them with the ball. So you talk a lot of skill combinations, which try and takes them out of the comfort zone. The idea may be that to try and so when it comes to the game, they can react to any situation with the ball.
Hmm.
Is that something you do with the older players or the young players? I mean, what sort of stuff do you do with the older players?
With the older players, yeah, it's I try to do new things, new exercises, new ideas. To yeah, how do you say it? Extend, no, extend to um, uitdagen. Uh, I don't know what the word uitdagen.
Okay.
Wait, to
Challenge.
challenging.
Yeah.
It's very important to challenging the other guys, and yeah, with new exercises, combinations of skills. Um, yeah.
Okay, so then talking about then, just give us a little bit of an idea about Genk. The structure of the academy. What is it split? Is it split into different age groups? The younger ones, older ones, and then the professionals. Like in England, we have normally 8 to 12s or 8 to 11s. The foundation phase. Then we have the youth development phase, 12 to 16s, and then the professional phase. How's the academy organised at Genk?
We have also 3 phases, under 7 till under 10. It's one responsible for, and then we have the under 11 till under 14, and then we have the under 15 till the second team. So 3 phases, and one main director.
So can you just tell us a little bit about each phase and then the priorities for each phase?
Priority, the foundation, the little guys, is to explore, to learn as much as they can. Then the middle phase, it's very important um, to apply the things they learned in the games, and Yeah, and with the older guys, it's the most important that they know some technical skills, and then they have to refine. Do you say it? Refine the technical skills.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, and so for instance, the 7 to 10 year olds, what's the games format? How many aside do they play for the young players?
in Belgium, we have the under six, but we don't have in Genk. The under six play 2 vs 2, and the under seven they are going to play from next season 3 against 3, and then under eight, under nine they play 5 against 5, and under 10 till under 12 they play 8 against 8.
And so what age group do they start playing fixtures against other teams?
So in Genk we play against other teams under seven.
Under seven, so they'll
Yeah.
play 3v3 against other teams.
Yes. Yes.
So how many 7 year olds do you have at Genk?
Next season we will have 8 under 7s.
8 under 7s. And what about
And
your under 9s? How many under 9s do you have?
under nine we have 23.
23. So it's quite a big jump up between those age groups.
Yes, it depends. Last season we have with the under seven we had 18 under 7s.
Yeah.
So it depends of the quality, and the most important is the quality, not the quantity. It's a player with potential. Uh, he can come to Genk, but when we don't see players who are not ready for the step to elite club, uh, so
And tell
next season,
and so the under 9s are playing. They play 5v5. I mean,
yes.
what's the how's the coach approach that game? Is he setting them up in a certain formation? Are they going there to win, or is it just going and express themselves, having fun?
Um,
Well,
no, it's not the result is not the most important. Um, it's a process. The game is normally the training moments are the most important with the youngest guys. Um, how do they do the games? Yeah, always in the same formation. One defender, two on the side, and one attacker, one goalie. So it's always the same.
they play 1-2-1 all the time.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Make some actions, small spaces, play fast, not in the air. Yeah, play the ball on the feet, offensive, dominant. Always want to have the ball. Players may make mistakes in the games, but it's important they learn from it.
okay, and then tell us a little bit about when does that change? When does that evolve into the result becomes a little bit more important? What age group?
A little bit more important is when there is a ranking. For us in Gang, it's not the most important, but all the players, the elders, yeah, it's when there's a ranking, it's more competition, you know. It's yeah, the result is more important than when you go till under 16, under 18. The result is more and more important.
So there's no ranking until 16 or 18. There's no league tables.
There's a ranking of under till what? There's a ranking of under 13.
And so then that's when they start playing competitive.
Yes, yes. Then they start with the ranking.
Okay, interesting. And then tell us how often do the young players train then from 7 to 10? How many sessions a week do they have?
They train 3 times, but Wednesday they train 2 moments. It's one session, not specific football, but it's also like karate or boxing or
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu or yeah, doing some other sports in our academy. Um, and the other moments it's just football.
So they'll have an extra long training session that night.
Yes, they train 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours on Wednesday, with a pause, with something to eat, something to drink.
Interesting, yeah, because I was at Ajax recently, and they as well. They had an extra half an hour multi-sport on every session. So is this something? How long have you been doing this at Genk? This is obviously more and more clubs doing multi-sport. They realise the importance of different movements for long-term injury prevention. How long have you
Yeah.
been doing this at Genk?
I think it's the fifth year or so. I think it's very important to do something with your whole body, the body composition, and the players like it a lot because for the players it's just like playing games, yeah, and they like it. It's fun.
Okay, and then talk about when the players get a bit older. So from 11 upwards, when does their training load increase?
The training load, the under 10 they train 4 times a week,
Yeah.
and then you go under 11, under 12 also 4 times, under 13, under 14 it's 6 times a week.
So those guys, 14, 15. So you talk about them training in the morning. Do they come in? Do they go to a school with Genk? Do you have a school program?
Yeah, we have a school program. The school, it's a top sport school, and Genk have some appointments with the school, so the under 13, under 14 can train Thursday in the morning, for example. They come on 8 hours on the club, and they train in the morning. Then they go to the school, and in the evening, after the school, they come back for a second training moment. And with the older guys, it's also they train Tuesday in the afternoon, Thursday in the afternoon. So they don't go to the school, and then they come to train at the club, at the academy.
And so all of the 13, 14, all the 14-year-olds are in the school, all the players?
No, not all. Some, it's a few players not. They go to another school or not in Genk, and it's too far. And yeah.
But I mean, are all kids invited? Do you invite all the children, or is it just maybe a select children
Um,
invited?
it's a combination. The first, so Tuesday and Thursday, it's a combination of one training and second training. The first training it's only for top sport, who has appointments with the school, and then it's the second training. That's for boys who can come to the first training at the school, and yeah, then it's the second training.
Okay, and then so moving up as the boys get older, when do they become full time with the club?
Full time at the club. Hmm.
Do they?
Uh, Full time, no, mostly not. They go to school, the second team. Mostly of the guys go to school. Um,
So that's
some of them,
that's like the 21s or 23s.
yeah, yeah, under 21, it's the second team mostly, yes. And some of the guys when they are going to the first team, it's too busy. Yeah, they cut with school. Um, but the most guys go to school as well.
So is that an important part of the club philosophy? Education, making sure you have educated players.
Yes, 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 yes. It's very important. We have some persons who are busy with in our academy with the school results of the boys. So when the results are not good of the boys, they will hear it from the academy.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about the recruitment of for the club. I mean, what's the philosophy of recruitment? What sort of players are you looking for at Genk?
So players, high potential players. Um, you want to see some progress in the player when they come on a testing or when you scout some players. Yeah, I think the technical aspect is very important, but also the mentality. Do you want to learn? If the coach says something, you are going to do it, or you have your own vision, your own idea. So yeah, the mentality is also a very important aspect.
Okay, and what about measurables at the club? Do you try and measure? How do you measure the ability of a player? Do you try and measure technical ability?
I think the technical ability, it's very difficult to measure specific technical ability because the technical ability is, for me, it has many options. Kicking, okay, passing, controlling, okay. We have some exercises, we have some measure, but it's always a combination with speed or thinking or technical. So we can do or we do some exercises to measure something, but
So you do exercise to measure.
we do exercises, yeah, with on time, passing the ball how many times, controlling the ball how many times, the right feet to play.
So
Yeah,
I'm interested in that. Tell us, for instance, how do you measure the player's first touch? So what does that practice look like?
the player's first touch. It's with four players. They start in the middle. They go out till a coin, till a peon. Um, and then they have time. They have to work together with four players, and they play the ball in dia diagonal,
Yeah, diagonal. Yeah.
diagonal. And it's a fun exercise to measure how many times they control the ball and how many times they play the ball around. Um,
And then what do you do with that data?
yes.
What's the result if a player performs badly in that test? What's the result of that?
Yeah, it's the exercise. We work also with videos sometimes, and other tests to do something. We give an something homework, and they have to send a video right back. And the next training, there's a test where they have to show that they can do the exercise. And yeah,
And so
it's
if it,
important for a footballer to become better and better. And when he's not doing it, yeah, then we have a problem.
if it comes to a player who you have to release, I mean, what's that process like? Do you give them some warning, or is there certain things that in England normally convention the player has a meeting halfway in the season and say, look, there's some areas that are there's some issues, and then at the end of the season, then the player might get released because they haven't addressed those issues.
Yes, and with us in half season, they have an appointment with the coaches, and they get a report and with working points and good points, and at the end of the season, it's the last report, and then they can release. Yes, yes, it's also in Genk.
I mean, obviously, I was when I was at Chelsea and Tottenham. I remember playing Genk and many Belgian teams in European tournaments. The teams always performed very well in those conditions, and I can always notice very technical players.
Hmm.
Why do you think Why do you think you guys always perform well in those sorts of tournaments? I mean, you play a lot. The young boys play lots of tournaments a year, right?
Yes, we tried. Yes.
So for instance, how many tournaments a year might a young player play?
It depends. The younger guys play more tournaments than the other older guys, but the older guys are more international. They go to the international tournaments. But for us, it's very important to play the tournaments against international teams because, with all respect, the not all the Belgian teams are are well or are good. So when we can play against teams as like Tottenham and Chelsea, it's for us it's great.
So, for instance, a 9 and 10-year-old, how many tournaments may they play a year? Do you think, if you had to guess?
In a year, I guess the under nine. Wait, um, I think the under 9 has 15,
15.
15 tournaments.
I mean, that's quite a lot. I think that's an incredible advantage. I think some of the players, young players, have in Europe. Whereas in England, we play non-competitive football every weekend, and then maybe the boys will play, if they're lucky, 4 or 5 tournaments at the bigger clubs, and smaller clubs not a lot. So I think it's
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
maybe obviously logistically where you are, but I think it's a big advantage the Europeans have over the English boys. I think the amount of tournaments they play at such a young age.
Yeah, we want to play to other cultures. Under 9 last weekend they go to Germany to play 2 tournaments. We go to the Netherlands. We go to France. We go to England. Yeah, it's very important for us to play against other teams, other way of football. So the players can learn a lot.
And so tell us then about this technical coaching philosophy at Genk. Is that commonplace in Belgium?
No, I don't think so. I think we are professional in our way of football and our way of technical skills also. I don't see the specific technical aspect in other clubs as we train because I see it when there come new players at our team, players from other elite clubs. They have some problems with the technical skills we do in Genk.
Interesting. And so obviously we've had Chris van der Hagen on the show before, quite a while ago now.
Hmm.
He obviously is telling us the importance of the 1v1, but within a 2v2. So tell us why 1v1 is so important to you guys and football in general.
Uh, 1 vs 1 we have to do because the football is going to be faster and faster, and the spaces are smaller and smaller. So it's important to make an action when you are over your defender. There's more space, and you can make the right choice because there's always an opponent to come to you, and then you have more space to make the right choice. So the 1 vs 1 for the maximum efficiency, it's very important.
And so tell us how you organize your 1v1 training, your curriculum. How do you approach it?
It depends. I have 1 vs 1 frontal, but I have 1 vs 1 on the side next to me, 1 vs 1 at the back. All the all the situations come in my training. It's just a team what I want to train at the moment.
But I mean, so for instance, if you have the new boys, the sevens, eights, nines, they come in. Do you have like a technical periodization model, something along those lines you use, and how do you approach a 1v1?
Yes, I have periodization. Also to the for the other coaches in Genk, I have some accents. I train 2 weeks periods, and I send them to the coaches, and they can train in their exercises, passing or dribbling or controlling balls with the technical skills I want to train in the 2 weeks, and they try to do it also in the training moments.
And so just tell us about your a little bit more detail about your technical periodization, if possible, about the 1v1s. How what does that look like?
With the little boys, it's just a combination of the skills. Uh, it's a scissor, for example. I want to train. It's also a combination. The two scissor aka, for example. I have the controlling ball. It's difficult to say in English, but the ankle controller, control with the ankle control. And so the teams, you are always welcome to come to Gang and watch a training moment so we can discuss, huh?
I'd love to. I mean, I will do. I'd love to do that. I'm not going to do that, Niels. I just because when for instance, when I'm working with young players in the academies when I was there,
Hmm.
I spend some time with working with the player behind, with the pressure behind or to the side, and
Hmm.
then we'd spend several weeks on working player dribbling towards the player. So I talk about Hazard work with playing with the player behind or to the side, and then Ronaldo work dribbling sides. We'd maybe work in 5 or 6 week blocks, and then move to
Yes.
the other thing just to help. I'm a really big fan of the players understanding each 1v1 situation, so they're learning themselves, they're educating, they have knowledge to then understand the situation and then use the whatever skills they see fit.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I try to do it also in my training sessions. Two mostly weeks when my opinion is I'm not happy what I saw. It's a third week to train something, for example, the one vs1 frontal or and so on. And the next 2 or 3 weeks we are going to train the one vs1 at the back with pressure on the back. So
Okay, and then tell us a little bit about as well. For instance, when you're working with older players, so the wide player comes to you, maybe he's having issues. How do you link your technical work to the game with him? How important is that?
I speak with the players after the game or during the game, in the rest period. I do some video analysis. It's the so I can ask the player in that situation, what could you do? You are one vs one with the goalie. You kick the ball over the goal. I with him what we can do. Can he dribble or can he stiff the goalie? And on the video we can turn back and we can see what's the best option. And then I see when the players are thinking about it, seeing the video, the next time it will be better. And they said also they sent me some messages. Coach, did you see? I did it, and yeah, it's a pleasure.
And so who's had the biggest impact on you in your coaching career and methodology? Where did you learn to coach like this?
Um, I learned a lot of many good coaches who are busy on the pitch to discuss them with them in Genk, but also other coaches in Brazil and in England and Germany. But I learned very much of my good friend Michel Ribeiro,
Yeah,
who is working in the United States at the moment.
I know
He
Michelle.
was yes, he was the first technical coach of KRC Genk, and he was a mentor for me.
And so then, obviously, so Michelle's obviously gone to America. How do you carry on to self improve and learn more and learn more of your skills training?
To explore, to try new things, new exercise. I ask also the players try to think about a combination skill, and they come to me and they let me see, and I also on the internet I'm going to watch some videos, and I'm thinking what can I do with my technical skills, and what can I where's my surplus. So every day I'm thinking at home, at my work, on the pitch, what can I do with the new things?
Okay, and have you seen any other skills coaches work during your time?
Yeah, I saw and I see a lot of coaches busy, um, but mostly it's another vision of technical coaching. It's not the way we do in Genk. It's a different vision. I think it's also a good manner, but not the specific manner of we train in Genk.
Okay, now just thinking more wider in Belgium now. Belgium currently have some of the best players in world football. Why do you think you have had such success recently in Belgium with player development?
I think at this moment it's very exceptional. The players are really world class. But yeah, firstly they have to work hard because in Belgium we have not the money to buy all the players in the world. For Genk or team in Belgium, it's very important to train the young players and give them a chance in the first team, and then we can sell to other teams and so on and so on. So we don't have the budgets of a Chelsea or Arsenal and Tottenham. It's another way of thinking about football. We need to do.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, we've had a problem in England with players getting the opportunity at clubs because maybe the success of the Premier League. What's your thoughts on English youth development generally?
The players who are going to other teams, or what do you mean?
I mean, we've had problems with our players getting chances in our first team, and so maybe our England team's not so strong as it could be because our young players are not getting opportunities.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes, yes. It's
what's the general thoughts in Belgium about English football, English development, and then what about American as well? Because we have a lot of American listeners.
Mhm. In Belgium, we see that a lot of young players go to England or to other countries because they have more money. But I think it's not always the good option because we have a lot of players. They are really good, but they don't play in a first team. And other players they stay in Genk or in another Belgian team, and they can play in the first team, and they playing is also is the most important for a football player, I think. And when you are good, you can do a good transfer to another country or a bigger team. But I think the players have to go step by step.
And so what I mean, you said earlier there's a big emphasis on physicality. Anything else you notice about English players or even recently?
Uh, yeah, they're more mostly they are more aggressive on the ball, physical. They are greater players. Yeah, stronger players. Um, yeah, it's
Do you see there is a difference in technical quality between English and Belgian players generally?
yes. I don't think when we see to the technical skills, Genk is in Genk we are very good about technical skills. That's
And what about America? Have you had any experience with American players? What do you think about the American development system?
in America there's a lot of potential. I have some contacts with my friend Michel Ribeiro, and he says that accommodation, the mentality is very good. So I think America is full of potential to become a real football country. Yes, but at this moment we don't see many Americans footballing in Europe. Um, Maybe in the future.
And what about yourself? What's your ambitions? What would you like? Any ambitions you have in the game?
My ambitions is to learn every day more and more, and we will see what will happen. Um, I don't know. I live day by day, and I want to make my players great, and they trust me, and I do it for the players, not for me. The players are the most important. I want to see the players shining in the stadium. Uh,
I mean,
it's not for me.
for instance, would you like to be working in the first team with as a full-time skills coach? I remember when I was at Spurs, we had Ricardo Muniz. He was full-time skills coach at Spurs. He used to do a lot of work in the academy with us, but we were pretty much a first-team skills coach. Would you like to do that?
Mhm. Maybe. It's a future, but at this moment, I like the academy, the younger guys. Sometimes I have some players of the first team. They don't play in the weekend, they come to the second team. So for me, it's a nice experience, but it's just the same. Players are players on the pitch, but the younger guys, under 7, under 8, it's also fantastic when you can learn them something. In the beginning, they get nothing, and when you see them growing, I see all the players in the academy, under 7 till 23. So it's fantastic to see them growing up and do the tackles in the games and training moments, and to see them growing better and better.
Interesting.
So
And what
in the
advice
future, we will see.
what advice would you give to a young coach who's starting out and would like to coach at a high level like yourself?
To a young coach, is to work hard, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and just go for it. Discuss with other coaches, learn with your eyes. You don't have to be afraid to speak with other coaches or other directors in a football club about the way of football, the vision. Yeah, just believe in your dreams when you want to become somebody.
And what advice would you give to a young player who's starting out on their journey?
For me, it's just the same. Working hard, believe in your dreams, go for it. You have to do always the maximum. When you do the maximum, it's all you can do. And technical skills are very important. Huh?
Yeah, I have this conversation with young players a lot, and I was how just you can tell them how important is it really to go away from training and work really hard on those techniques by themselves.
You see the examples, the top players, Kevin De Bruyne, technical skills, Messi. If you see the 1v1 actions, the dribble, Cristiano Ronaldo, all top players, Neymar. You can see all the top players as the technical skills are perfect. Also, other skills are very important, but technical aspect is for me it's the most important in football.
Would you lose De Bruyne there as your perfect example of a technically complete footballer?
Yes, yes, I like them a lot.
Niels, thanks you very much for your time. I appreciate it. It's been fantastic.
It was a pleasure. So, and when you have time, you come to Belgium, you come to Genk, you contact me.
I will do 100%. Thank you.
Yes, okay, very nice.
Thanks for tuning in to the MyPersonalFootballCoach.com Soccer Player Development Podcast. MyPersonalFootballCoach.com's Dynamic Ball Mastery Program is the world's leading online individual technical training program, proven and developed at the highest level in the English Premier League. Sign up now to train like the pros and take your game to the next level. Master the ball, master the game.